Joanna, there is a study that shows 1 in 60 dads end up raising a child that doesn't belong to him. So non-paternity is obviously an issue at fairly high prevalence in the United States in general, and possibly the world in general. How does 23andMe deal with issues of non-paternity?
So this is certainly a big issue for 23andMe because it's one of the most high impact results that someone who signs up for 23andMe can get. And before people sign up, it's very important that they consider the possibility of making a discovery about biological relationships in their family that they didn't previously know about. And that's why when we launched the service, from the very beginning, in our terms of service, we said, you should be aware that you may learn things about yourself that you find uncomfortable, that are disturbing, including that your biological father is not your biological father, that the person you know to be your father is not your biological father. So we were very explicit from the very beginning that this is a possibility, and so that the people are aware that that is something that can come out of DNA analyses.
And so are people, do you find many people not aware that the personal genetic services offered at 23, I mean, is essentially, in a way, can be like a paternity test?
Well, many organizations that do official paternity testing are doing it in a way that the evidence will hold up in a court. So it's a bit of a different process. So for 23andMe customers, it's more like something they just discover when they're exploring their data. And the main way that people discover non-paternity is if they find that their genetic relationship to another family member is not what they had anticipated, that they are, instead of being a full sibling with someone they think there's their sibling, they're a half sibling because they have different fathers. So that's not unusual. And one resource that we provide is a forum, a discussion forum, where many of our customers put out their questions to other members of the 23andMe community. And that's where we've seen evidence of people discovering non-paternity. And very often they have questions like, how do I check to find out whether this is true or not? How do I handle conversations with other members of my family? And other members of the 23andMe community often come forward with advice on, who else should be tested in the family, how to, approach, other family members. I've seen people reporting cases where they've said, I'm not going to tell my dad that I've discovered this because he's been my dad all my life, and there's no need for us to change that.
Sure, I imagine.
And so people make these big personal decisions once they get this information.